morning. Good morning. We are having coffee today. Coffee with Nix. Good morning. Good morning, my loves. How are you? And this is a brilliant, brilliant blue. The other days it was looking a little dull, but I haven't done a lot of polishing, so it's looking brilliant today. By the way, I think I took my stone out with me yesterday. I had some things to do, right? So I was out and about and I did some walking around. Now, I went to a Dunkin' Donuts and I got two donuts. The interaction was pleasant. However, I forgot the pink donut, the pink one with the sprinkles. It's significant what I'm saying. Just listen. I forgot the pink donut, the pink one with the sprinkles. That happens to be one of Alex's favorite donuts. However, there's a lot of jokes about pink donuts, right? So I'm down there and it's like a change of directions. Listen, it's a change of directions after I didn't get the pink donut because I didn't want it, but someone would have appreciated it. I switch directions. Instead of going left, I go right. I go right and I keep going right and I end up staying right. Listen to the story. I end up staying right. However, upon going right, I end up in the right direction. I end up making another right. So I've almost made a square. I keep going. I keep going. I stop because I'm not confused, but I want to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. This is reinforced by who I stop and I ask. Pleasant interaction. Bye bye. I go up. I make another right. I'm still in the right. Everything is going well. I've done everything in my schedule. So I end up, I was going to buy a pack of something, but I didn't buy the pack. I ended up on a pack. So as I'm going, the only left I made was the left that I made to look. When I looked to my left, I saw a car that was similar to mine, but the car wasn't mine because it had a grill. It had a grill on the back. So it was my old car with the grill on the back in a pack. So when I put all of the information together, all of it was tangible, but it was a challenge. That was the challenge, was the pack. The pack was the challenge. The pink donut is still significant. That's the pack. The pack is the challenge. It's the pink donut that they're chasing. That is the challenge. It's the pink donut. That's the prize, the trophy. That's what they're chasing. So when I turned around and I seen the challenge and I seen the black grill, that's who it was. It was a black grill. It was a grill that was in my face, that was trying to be in my face. It was a grill. So somebody with a grill that has a challenge and they're chasing after the pink donut, the ever elusive pink donut, whether it be, no, it ain't no whether it be nothing. They chasing booty. I don't know whether it's a man or a woman, but it's a black grill in a pack that's making it a challenge that's got packed together. They've gathered a pack. I guess they're hunting or they're being predatory because that's what packs do. Wolves. That's what wolf packs do. Wolf pack. So most of the time, when there's a wolf pack, there's an alpha in the pack. So someone is running the pack. It might not be a wolf, it might be a jackal. Pay attention. Okay, so I've been really into this darker color red. All right, ox. All right, ox. Ox blood. That is significant. Oh, my nose is itchy. Uh-huh. I'm on it. So Somebody really likes this color. Somebody likes ox blood color. They like burgundy. They like the color. That's significant. It's significant to the pack. Blood oath, maybe, but it's significant to the pack. This pack, this goes hard. This goes hard. This is a hard color. I ain't gonna lie. I like this color. Depending on what it's on, it's really hard. So it's a pack that's after something. It's predatory. They're after not something. The pink donut. That pink donut means something different depending on who's listening. Okay. I gotta get prayed up before I enter into this realm because I got a juicy one and it's mostly for the divine masculine, the distorted masculine, and it's got a lot to do with the way you guys operate. But it's pulling your coat to something because it's something you're not seeing that's right there. Ooh, the moon, Chicago, Midwest, the moon, blue, black, black and blue, black and blue, black and blue, black and blue, white, police. In a city, somebody's got to connect to the police in the inner city. It has something to do with the pack. It has something to do with the alpha male. It has something to do with predatory. It has something to do with the foundation institutions. I said it's a hierophant group. So there are intersecting sectors. When I saw where it was turning at, I said varsity yesterday, university. University. University is a school. Schools, that's where people go to study. So it's a lot of broadness to that. What happens at universities? Frat sororities, different groups, conglomerates, different groups get together and they put all their resources together in which they network and they use different resources to bring about different results, right? To bring about a collective result, okay? A collective result. So different groups and institutions put together. Now, this could be on a small scale. This could be on a big scale. It's always on a big scale. It's continuous on a big scale. But this small scale operation is trying to operate like the big scale because this is the aspiration, but it's a leverage. It's a leverage because one needs the other in order to keep moving around. Okay. My hand, this is my good hand. Other people have the other hand. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's happening. Okay, so let's do the Psalms first because I still have a description. Okay. Unto thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto thee do we give thanks, for that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. When I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the pillars of it. Selah. Oh, yeah. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. Let me repeat that. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Wow. I didn't do the pre-reading prior to this, but I knew what my message was going to be. But yeah, this is including the ox blood, the ox, the horns, everything that I just said. Okay. It covers someone seeking of promotion. And I'm going to get into that because that's included in my message of the promotion. Okay. And the pillars. Okay, that's also in my message. I swear to you not, I only picked the passage. I didn't read through it. I didn't pre-read through it. I don't know it all by heart. I got to keep reading. Okay. So, yeah. This definitely goes with it. This is 75 songs for anybody who wants to go back and try to pull back the message verbatim without listening, because I guarantee you it's benefits either way you do it. From one message to the next, from the message, it's transmutable. Okay. So we're going to thank God for that word, for waking us up this morning. Happy birthday. Happy holidays to whoever's having a holiday. Ramadan. Ramadan, yes. Blessings to you all. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Shalom to others. And hi. Ni hao. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Let me take a sip. Sip, sip, sip. Yeah, that's still that shine. Somebody's on a night shift. Okay. Or they stay up all night, or they're paying attention. They're paying attention. It's a nosy person. Glad I was able to do it. Now I ain't got to. I held you with too much regard. I should have dropped you. The Lord gave his body for debit. You took the credit. I seen who you really ride for. You should forget it. Ain't no reconciliation in this nation. You left the real one. They said it hit you just like a bullet, but not a real gun. They said you was really a chicken yellow like old Sean. You listen, but you really ain't hearing. That was the real con. Yep, that was the real con. So, with that being said, okay, so initials C, initials J, initials A, initials D, initials N, couple of D's, initials N, couple J's, couple C's, couple J's, couple C's, couple D's. DOJ, DCS, CPS, excuse me, DHS, excuse me, BCP. Here go the boundaries. Here's those the wishes. All right, divine masculine, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Not that I want the ladies to leave. It's just that right now the message is for the pillars of Solomon. That would be the lineage, the direct lineage of Solomon. That would be the men. That would be the men. That would be the men who have upright in their veins, who know it's in them and not on them, who have sometimes lost their ways and lost their footing and got swayed off the path. The issue with King Solomon is not that he wasn't the man, it was that he was a man and he still had flaws, the same flaws as man. Okay, he was a king appointed by God to watch over many and plenty of nations. He was given wives. He was entrusted to some of the most precious jewels in the world as wives. For a time, he was upright to each and every last one of the contracts he had upheld, except the one by God. He was so entranced in pleasure and all his wants and his needs being fulfilled that he forgot to fulfill the one contract that made all these things possible, his contract with God. See, when God gave him a contract, he told him this one thing. He said, you could go anywhere, you could do anything, you could do as much as you can, as long as you uphold this one contract. I tell you, do not take up the concubines. That is the strange woman, the woman that is not of the land, not of his land, not of his loins. Do not take of them, for they will have you to worship false gods. A lot of you are waiting for somebody to come up and say, I want you to go to this church, or I want you to do this, and I want you. No, it is not always that blatant that it would happen. It looks like you being invited. It looks like you changing something small and eventually something more, and it's eventually all things are changed. It looks like you making the choice to change things yourself, although you know that eventually this is going to snowball into something that may or may not be in accordance and agreement with the Most High. It might not be in alignment with your highest purpose. So this is basically for you guys that you guys are trying to be your brother's keeper, but is that your brother? And sometimes your brother is not your brother at the time that he's introduced to you for you to collect. He's already been compromised. He's already been with the strange woman, and with that come other strangers. And since you've already accepted the one stranger, everyone that comes after her, it does not matter if it's man or woman, it is a stranger to you. So here's the situation here. There are females, more than one. There are females that do actually want to be boys, but they do not want to be boys. It is almost the same in the reverse. They want everything. They want the benefits. They want the power. They want the strength. They want the dominion. They wish they had the muscle, but the issue is they don't, and they know it. See, a lot of you are so quick to be used by the enemy that the minute you come across someone who is not as pushy and is not as blatant as the enemy, you gather that is good. But remember, the enemy works subtly. So here is the situation. There are females that do want to be boys, and I'm not talking about the studs because they are outright with it. You can see the evidence in which their ambitions are going. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the ones that appear as females, but they have sociopathic tendencies. They lie and they cry and they steal at the drop of a hat, but they don't steal by way of taking from you. They get you to give it to them voluntarily. Stick with me for a moment. This message is for you. Illumination. Look, guys, sit down. Listen, I'm offering you this cup. Okay. So a lot of you are out here and you're living your best life, or the life that you think is best for you, but oftentimes it is not. Okay. You find yourself in these groups. Now, remember the movie Zombies. Remember when they came out with The Walking Dead? That was a walking experiment. That was a living experiment. The more people got, they almost had, I would say 90% of America tuned in at a point in time to these two shows. And that showed how social engineering is very, very accurate, and it works because everybody, and I mean everybody from all over the world, even some that were not in, a lot that were not in America, everybody was tuned into this show. And it was actually very interesting how people were going to work. They were going to, they were tweeting, it was everywhere. And they were all talking about this one show and the alliance of these people, not knowing that they were actually the zombies that they were watching. See, in the original zombies movies, the zombies were running around talking about brain, 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 and all you had to do was make sure that you didn't have to come into physical contact with them and let them eat you or bite you or something like that. See, we're in a very different time now where a person does not have to touch you in order to get energy or transfer from you by way of tap. We got NFCs now. NFCs, or you don't have to touch things. You can tap to pay for things. You could stream things, you could airdrop things, right? So how wouldn't that be transmuted into our communication now. So now we're getting airdrop things. When you think about something and naturally your phone starts turning into it. We're in a big frequency right now, and this is the age of Aquarius, where you're starting to be able to see the direct correlation into everything, right? Here we go. So there are these two females, and they have the ambitions, but they want to stay females. They just want the control, the connection, the dominance, the access, and the money that men are able to create. Men are really good at networking in such a way that they don't need to emotionally be involved with each other. They have one common goal: get to the bag, get a better life, upgrade, right? At points, all of it is emotion, but it's not looked at as emotion. It is looked at as ambition. For females, we're looked at as we're in emotion, but a lot of times we can't even afford to be in emotion because that don't get us no money and that don't get us no respect. So we can't even afford to deal in our emotions, as we've learned throughout of the years. So the ones that are still dealing in their emotions are kind of being strategic. Bear with me. Don't get at me, females. I have to let my divine masculines know in which way, because we all don't identify with that clandestine way of doing these things. Okay, so that is the one description. They still want to be female. However, this is the take. They're a moment away. If they had muscles, you would be done. They're a moment away, but they have muscles you don't see. This in particular is one little niche that I can tell you about because I've experienced them. There's a Haitian chick and an American chick. They've been friends for some years. The issue is not that they're putting necessarily something in your food or your drink, which they could be. But the issue is you think that they're grieving at the graveyard. They're not grieving at that graveyard. The guilt is at the graveyard. When they go to your funerals and your wakes, every time you have homeboys, they remember those graves. See, what happens in y'all friend groups is y'all trade women so much, and y'all trade stories so much, and y'all trade baby mothers so much that y'all have unknowingly made enemies of the women that you lay with. And most of them that have sense, that have a social standing, that you ain't they only nigga, they'll let you go. They don't have a problem. They don't have an issue moving on. It's the ones that are never seen as pretty, the ones who are always the side chick, the ones who are always compared to. Those are the ones that you have to be very careful with when you keep doing that to them, because they don't leave the male population. Oh no, they ingrain themselves in it. They don't leave. They never leave. They seek revenge. They meet up with all your homeboys. They keep hanging around. They invite everyone around. See, they don't mind having all of your homies in and out the house because they need to know which ones have the money, which ones don't. They need to know who's got the money for the bust downs. They need to know. See, the issue is not because they want to sleep with you all, which they'll probably do because you guys love to pillow talk. You're either be feeding them your baby mother, the next chick, or you'll be feeding them your homeboys who you kind of jealous of because he's getting a little bit more money. Or she can play you out by triangulating you with one of your homeboys so that you start shooting out information in hopes that you retain the coochie. Men are very, 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 very good at doing this because they'll throw anybody under the bus to get some coochie, especially if they think it's going to be good. So imagine you don't really have to worry about most of the men being on your discovery papers as much as you got to worry about them selling you out to them girls. That's what you have to worry about. So these women play in graveyard dirt. Sorry to say. They play in the dirt of your homies. They play in the dirt of your friends. And this is how they have this unwavering loyalty of you. Have you noticed that you have an uncanny pull to this person who lives almost a trash life, but they seem to be loyal to you? Most people, as they get older, they don't have a bunch of grown adults running in and out of their house. Not normally. It's because it's a collective thing. It's when you're in a lot of chaos and when you're around a lot of people, it's very, very hard to decipher who is who and what is what. And they use that. They use that bit of chaos and your guys' need for clans and gangs. You guys need to click up. They love that you guys need someone's house to hang at. They love it. I'm only paying maybe 50, 75 bucks a month, maybe 108 depending on. I get you guys to come over, give me a few bucks. You've paid my rent. You paid for everything that I got to do for the next few days. And I set you up. Because now you have an unwavering need for me, and you don't know why you always got to come past my house. You don't know why you always got to knock on my door. You don't know why the water tastes so good at my house, even though it's water. It's because you've undeniably put yourself in a situation. These girls are good. These girls can make you upset with any girl. These girls can make you, and they're not that attractive. You can get some booty. They might got a little tight body. That's because they don't eat. They stopped eating because long time ago they started eating your hearts. They started eating your thoughts and your ambitions. So they've got to stay a little bit loopy in order to not let you know that the feast is you. You notice you can't really do anything else. You want a job, but you can't go get this job. But if they call you for a couple bucks, you better go get it. And you feel an urgency from it, and you don't know why. These chicks have been doing work on you. And by way of been doing work on you, they've been doing work on your homeboys and any girl you touch. You see, these girls don't even like you to get a girlfriend. They don't like for you to bring other women to the group because they've already got you under the spell. These girls are so good at what they do, you almost act violent at other girls when they come around. And you don't understand why you have this thing. And even though a woman is innocent, probably not even thinking about you or that girl, they just automatically, she thinks she all that. Watch me shit on her. It's definitely mass. And some of us are under the influence of it, not even knowing that these girls are that good at it. See, it's a bounce and a bounce and a bounce and a touch and a bounce and a bounce and a touch. That's why it's so important to watch who you passing the bottle to, who you passing the L to, who you passing by, who you letting get in your car, who you letting spend the night, who you letting come in through your door, who you letting use your bathroom. You have to be very, very careful because you're being loyal to a person who's not loyal to you. Ask yourself, have you been loyal to somebody who does nothing for you and you feel so pulled toward them, but they don't do nothing really? And even if they did do something, you realize that you've given them way more than they've ever given to you, but it seems as though you can't stop giving to them. You may or may not be under that influence. So, what I'm picking up is, and it might not be because they've recruited other people, because I'm pretty sure if they've seen it work that they've gotten other people to come join them. So it's like a bunch of mid-looking females who are living the high life, and you trying to figure out, how do these bitches do it? Well, they're playing in graveyard dirt. See, when that I think it was when they started that TikTok, that witch talk or whatever, when they started that stuff up, that stuff took, because some of them women, you thought those women were just being silly and goofy, but they actually went and did that shit, and when they seen some of the results, they kept going. So unfortunately for you, you're trying to figure out why you can't get past a certain level, but you might be sleeping with your own personal. I digress. But you know what I'm saying, right? And it's not that I wanted to, I had to. I had to. Because some of you are losing homeboys to very extreme violence, and you're trying to figure out, like, that's freak shit. That's like, wow. You wondering why things are happening that way, but you're not even paying attention to the company and the animosity that's being thrown at you subtly. You're not paying attention to no body language or nothing. You so hard up on getting what you want that is the distraction. You too selfish, which makes you vibrate just low enough for them to get you. And once they got you for a long, long time. And I'm just trying to make you aware of these things. It's not always in the spaghetti. It's not always in the sauce. It's not always in the rice. It's in you already. Sometimes all they need is for you to fall for anything, because you stand for nothing but a couple dollars. And that's not nothing. If they should wake up today or tomorrow and say it matters not, it won't. So what do you really stand for? Pillars of Solomon, lineage, ancestries. What do you do? I mean, Solomon had to lose a lot in order to redeem himself and gain access to where he is. So, I mean, how will you redeem yourself? Will you make the exodus out of such a mental state? Will you clean up your act? Will you clean up the way in which you desire? Because I'm trying to tell you, your desire is what probably blinded you. It's not that you all desire the carnal pleasures of that, but maybe the carnal pleasures of life. Overindulgence is definitely what can open you up to such an attack, make you so susceptible. Your pride can make you susceptible. See, you could be everything. You can have everything clear, but your pride can definitely be a weak spot, especially if you're overinflated. You feel more important than everyone in the room. That can also make you susceptible to such attachments. You see, that type of magic is from the earth. It's got minerals in it, and you see, all of us have ties to the earth. All of us have ties to the earth. Every last one of our ancestors have been buried in this earth. And what do you think happens when you are absorbed by the earth? Everything goes back. Your matter goes back into which it came, from dust to dust, remember. So we're all connected in one way or another, some more than others. Some people's lineage, you can see in them. You could see that they are connected to every part of this earth. They are connected to every gene in this earth. That's why they look a little different. Yes. Some people, unfortunately, you cannot cross because they are connected to every last being on this earth. Some of us are right relics, and I'm talking to the ones that belong to the lineage of Solomon. It is obvious in your hair when you comb it. It is obvious in your eyes when you blink. It is obvious in your teeth. It is obvious in your speech. It is obvious in your walk. It is obvious in your talk. And you, my dear, have been taking this for granted. You think you can operate like everyone else. You can't. You are connected to the whole entire earth by way of your blood and genealogy. Every hair on your head is connected to every place on this earth. So when they get you, it is like a network of networks. This is why you have to be even more responsible for your presence and where you put your presence at. Because a lot of people can be affected by way of you, your blood, your hair. People can get to you, everyone connected to you by way of you. This is why you have to actually protect yourself. You are the root of some things. You may not pay attention to it. Maybe you don't really think about how unique you are. Every one of us is made special, very, very special. Some of us have just more responsibility than others for the specialness. Not to say no one is more special than the other, but some of us have accepted by way of the Most High's contract that we have way more responsibility than others. I hope you understand. So when you come into contact with such individuals, you do affect everyone around you. You do. So when you get to seeing people disappearing by way of unexplainable events, things that you couldn't even fathom, and that one person who's doing more crying than the whole world put together, that's the culprit. That's the muscle. Remember, I mentioned it. I said it's the crying. It's the crying. And it's not that every tear cried is fake. It's just that these people have a special way of administering pain by way through them that you feel so guilty by way you feel like you have to do something even if it's not the best thing. And eventually once they get their hands and feet and toes and claws into you, it's like you can't stop doing favors for them, even the most unreasonable favors you think you have to do, and you're almost ambitious to do it. They got you. They got you. They have you willing to destroy innocent people. They have you willing to unalive people. They have you willing to unalive yourself by way and proxy of doing the favors that they've asked you to do, by doing things that they've wanted you to do. And make no mistake, they will benefit whether you do it or not because they've already lined up the next person to do something to you, if it's not them. But kudos, 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 because they actually get to cash in those policies whether you do it or not because they've already procured a network. And it's not that to say that they won't use other females in order to entrap you. That is the best way to do it. Send a lover in, send a booty in. You like booty, don't you? Some of us are really good. Some know that you like the boys a lot. So they leave you to be all day, never calling you because they know you're susceptible to it. I mean, you've spent over 12 months away on vacation, not that vacation, the other vacation. So some of you have already done so. They know so, they've heard so because they have phones in that place. They have bars, but they have phones in that place. And ever so quickly, a whisper travels in the air quicker than a phone call, probably on a landline. Those spider webs, they travel very, very, very quickly, especially when someone hangs behind it. But I digress. What a network. So you've let, I think it's called a scythe or whatever that thing is called. You let the real culprit, not Medusa, because Medusa was lied on. There was a real culprit that was actually a real banshee. And because of the way Aphrodite lied on Medusa, she crisscrossed the monstrous sea creature with Medusa in order to demonize her reputation and her name. And because the men that wanted her had to basically get along to play along, they went in to destroy Medusa by way of Aphrodite. Aphrodite was very, very jealous woman who had powers, but the only power she didn't have was to be more beautiful than Medusa. So by way of that, this is how a lot of you are gotten. You end up in triangulation by way of female anguish. And that is funny. I remember a guy told me, he said, I don't know if you're jealous of her or she's jealous of you. And it was an insult. Yes, it was it was much an insult. One, you spoke these words out loud to me. You spoke these words out loud to me, to someone who I'd basically been a mentor to. Everything this, from the walk to the talk to the ambition, is basically copied from me. So how in the world can you come up and say, I don't know if it is she's jealous of you or you're jealous of her? It seems to me you're an idiot. And because you've spoken these words to me, I now know your mode of thought. And it's so funny how, when I say this, it just gathered up so many flashes of things that I saw, especially someone I saw very, very recently, quite close to me, who shouldn't have been very close to me at all. But I see these things a lot, and it's like a close circle in a pack, and a stupid pack at all. But the thing about it is, they're coming at someone very, very wrongly, not knowing that they're under some other kind of manipulation, and they don't understand why they want to push past a certain point, but they're under the control of someone else who is basically no comparison and cannot compete. So, because this person is weak in the spirit and weak in the feminine, they use male power in order to enforce their feminine wows. Either way, it wouldn't make them very much more feminine. It wouldn't make them very much more anything. And even if their goal was to be achieved, it wouldn't change anything. They would just still eat more people up and send more people either down, around, or to prison. They don't care who they eat up as long as they can get a check or some funds at the end of the day. They enjoy seeing people's suffering through their tears. They are not crying, they are laughing in guilt, because it's called derision. After you do it so many times, you're no longer crying. You cannot cry. You do not have any feelings. You are being driven to derision. See, they were able to hide it and cloak for quite some time by way of cloaking through other people. They were sending it through other people. And this is why people around them were glitching out. But now you're starting to see how evident it is in them. Hold for a second. I need a charger. I gotta plug it up. Almost died. It was like 2% left. Might still die though. But yeah, so I just wanted to be clear about that because a lot of times I see males feeling hopeless, and you try to keep cold up, but you also have to understand that I'm here to help everybody and not just one side. But you have to be very careful of the females and the deeds that they're willing to do. Some are willing to do anything to come up. Some are willing to do anything to beat the next female or to appear more. Really, it's all about gaining male attention. Whether or not they got anything to show, whether or not you get over there, doesn't matter. They just want all male attention. Now imagine a female like that getting power and actually getting positive results once or twice. You think they're going to stop there? They're going to keep going. And some of you guys have already been done through. All your friends gone. All your homeboys starting to perish in weird ways. But they need you and you got to come by. And it seemed like it happens every year or every couple years. And they always have everything at their house. And they always at the graveyard. And they always grieving. And they know everybody's tea. And they stay on the phone. This is how you are being ate up. They know. They know who got it and they know who don't too. And they also won't tell you. You think it's just the homeboys out here. There's some females out here that also won't tell you. And will let you mess with their homegirl. Knowing it. Y'all have to slow down and really pay attention. You keep worrying about somebody calling you slow. But slow and steady wins the race. Keep moving fast if you want to. Oh, yeah. Keep moving fast if you want to. So, what I got is the heavy burden of people trying to recalibrate their foundations and move to calmer water. Because I did just illuminate some things for the homeboys. I just want you all to know that nobody wants you out here in the streets. Nobody wants you to not get your goals. Nobody wants you to stay down and not get up. But you got to want that for yourself. And the only way you can be entrapped by these zombie people is if you vibrate that low enough that your brain can be controlled, that you can be pushed one way or another. You got to find some type of stability for yourself. And when we say grounding, a lot of times we do mean get some air and stuff. But what we mean by grounding is find somewhere to be, sweetie. Get yourself right. Get yourself a dream. Get yourself a hobby. Get yourself a purpose. You won't be everywhere. Think of your name as a brand and try not to trash it. Try not to soil it because other people will and they will cash in on it. TikTok showed you. I done seen people get TikTok famous off of some wild stuff. Most of the good ones are getting famous off of other people's tea. Doesn't make it right, but that's how they're doing it. But the bad thing is when somebody can actually make you tea and drink your stuff by way of your lack of control. I do fish though. I like fishing. I like white perch. I like the perch. Porgies is okay. I caught a tilapia once, and that's what made me not like tilapia at all. But yeah, I do got my fisherman's license. That's funny. You're so nosy. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on in these streets because you don't understand why you're so damn unreasonable. Okay? Shout out to Middle Eastern, Eastern Asians, my Eastern Asians. I understand that there's a Blasian on here too, a Black Asian. Shout out to you and all your heritage. We do share ancestors, so please don't send me any bad energies because your ancestors are very disappointed in you. Woo, these hoes ain't loyal. Um, So there's a fight still going on while some people are still traveling to calmer waters. I might have incited something. I apologize. I do not promote violence, but what has you you have to understand that you are have been under my control for quite some time. This is why every time you think you about to go move out and get with this one or do that one or this one, there's somebody by way of, I don't know, your family. It could be your sister, it could be your cousin, your aunt, or uncle is one of them females in your family, or two, maybe three, that have ill will, have already spoken many boundaries over your life and will continue to, especially at that graveyard. Um, they do have a life insurance policy on you, and they do mess with your tax money. I don't know if you know this, but yeah, it's like that. They got all your information because you think you got a secretary. You think you got somebody who does all your moves for you and can be trusted. No, this person has trusted your incompetence to put them in a better place. Yeah, I do pray for the safety of my life because I know a lot of people don't appreciate the information that I have. But like I said, this is like anonymous. I don't know most of the people, that come up in my readings, and I don't divulge people's personal business. But I am aware of certain things because I can see people are in my energy. As long as they keep trying to be in my energy, it's going to come through. I just hope that everybody's okay because I see y'all around some really dusty, trifling people that cannot be trusted. These people cannot be trusted with your hair in the trash. We're in a whole different world where people are doing weird things. People would rather do weird things than just go work and live a good life. People just gotta get over. They want to get over. I do not understand. They do not understand there is a price to pay each time you try to take from someone. You may not see it, but it will build up, and eventually the universe will ask for full payment. From the universe is capable of building a case, okay? And it's going to want full payment. First, it takes small payments from your family members and your children and everything else alike. And then eventually it comes straight for you because you don't mind losing everybody in your life. You don't mind losing everybody in your life by doing them wrong or having them go through something. I did not know about this stuff prior to, and I kept being around a person, and they kept having like freak things happen to them, and I said, you know what, I gotta get away from this person. And the last time I was around them, they went on a trip, and When they went on this trip, they started saying things and spewing things out of their mouth. And they say when you do this trip thing, you're not supposed to be around no negativity. So the stuff that they were spewing out, they are a very open portal. This person is a walking obscurity. Yes, you might have fun while you with them in that moment, but eventually you'll see loss in your life because that person is sucking up and siphoning all the energy from everybody in their sight. And you will not know it until everybody else is ashy and broke and they just sitting on all the money, crying and laughing maniacally. I saw it. I just didn't know what it was at the time. But now that I've come full circle, you better get that girl off that grief. All right, so I'm just saying. Because what I done seen on YouTube and how many people done suffered, and I know that they done sat at that table, shit, y'all ain't safe. Bye. Don't come for me, because that bitch spent you. And by the way, I don't have no little sister.